Hello, everyone. Jesus went about doing good. Acts 10:38 said how God anointed Jesus Christ with the Holy Ghost and power, who went about doing good and healing all that were oppressed of the devil. For God was with him. For God was with him. That is Acts 10:38. So the theme this morning is that Jesus went about doing good. Said God was with him. So in John 5, verse 19, John chapter 5, verse 19, Jesus said, the Son of Man, the Son can do nothing by himself. So whatever he sees the Father doing, that is what he does. So whatever Christ is doing is what God is doing. So the Son can do nothing by himself. So Jesus started his ministry when in Luke 4:18, he said something that is very unique. Since we know that whatever the Christ is doing is what God is doing. So the Spirit of the Lord is upon me because he has anointed me to proclaim the gospel or the good news to the poor. Jesus said in Luke 4:18 that the Spirit of the Lord is upon me because he has anointed me to proclaim the good news to the poor. For all the naysayers out there who say Christ wasn't making reference to the material poor, saying that Jesus was referring to the poor in spirit, you're about to have a rude awakening from the inspired scriptures. My personal opinions don't matter, they don't count. I like to use the inspired writings to defend God's truth. Christ says he does nothing by himself. I mean, whatever he sees the Father doing, that is what he does. So let us see what the Father does. And we can know this by going to the book of the writings of the prophets. Deuteronomy 10:18 says something unique. Deuteronomy 10 from verse 17 to 18. So I'm going to read verse 17 first, then I'll read verse 18. Verse 17 said, for the Lord your God is the God of gods, the Lord of lords, the great God, the mighty and awesome, who shows no partiality and accepts no bribe. Then verse 18 said something unique. So verse 17 was more like it was giving us a biography of who God is. It said God is a mighty God, mighty and awesome, the gods of God, the Lord of God, Lord of Lords, the great God. And it went on in verse 18 to tell us what God does. Deuteronomy 10 verse 18. He said, he defends the cause of the fatherless and the widows and loves the stranger residing among you, giving them food and clothing. So if we want to see more information, more scriptures that support the way, we go to Psalm 146 from verse 5 to 9. Psalm 146 from verse 5 to 9. It does this, it did the same thing that Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 17 to 18 said. Basically, first of all, introduce who God is. Then it talks about what God does. Remember, Jesus said, whatever the Father is doing, that is what I do. So Psalm 146 from verse 5 to 9 gave out a biography of who God is. It said, blessed is he whose help is in the God of Jacob, whose hope is in the Lord his God, who made the heaven and the earth, the sea and all that is in them, who keeps faith forever, who executes justice for the oppressed, who gives food to the hungry. The Lord set the prisoners free. The Lord opened the eyes of the blind. The Lord lifted up those who are bowed down. The Lord loves the righteous. The Lord watches over the strangers. He upholds the widows and the fatherless. These are the things that God does. So when Peter gave that great testimony about Jesus, that he went about doing good, this is the good that it was talking about. So the Spirit of the Lord is upon him to preach the good gospel to the poor, the good news to the poor. You can see without any doubt that the reference of the works of God that Jesus did was relating to those who are disadvantaged, those who are poor, those who are needy. Not a poor in spirit, as some of you might think Jesus was talking about, which a lot of evangelicals believe that was what Jesus was talking about. So if you look at this account and compare it to the writings of the prophet, you know what the works of God is when God walks among humans. It does great things. The Bible said, according to Psalm 146, it said something unique. If you read from verse 7, it said, who executes justice for the oppressed, who gives food to the hungry. The Lord set the prisoner free. The Lord lifts up those who are bowed down. The Lord watches over the strangers. He upholds the widows and the fatherless. Jesus said, learn of me, for I am low and meek and lowly in heart. Learn of him. That means we have to walk the way Jesus walked. We have to do what Jesus does. So the question is, what will Jesus do? Now we know that it went about doing good. God bless you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.